Homage to the Dhamma and homage to the Noble Sangha. Today we are going to learn this Dukka Patipada Dhandhabhinna, that means the painful way with slow realization. And this painful way with slow realization is shown in this document over here, the first profitable direction. And Buddha is explaining, because these are the 4 ways of reaching the goal. What for? The quick means and slow realization, the difficult means and quick realization, a pleasant means and slow realization, and a pleasant means and a quick realization. Because what is the difficult means and slow realization? Here, because certain one abides, reflecting loathsomeness in the body, loathsomeness in food, detachment from all the world, seeing impermanence in all determinations, and the perception of death is thoroughly established in him. He abides, relying on these powers of a trainer, such as the powers of faith, shame, remorse, effort, and wisdom. The 5 faculties of faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom are blunt in him. As a result, he realizes the destruction of desires slowly, with successive leading, because to this is said the difficult means and slow realization. So you can see there are 5 meditations here. That is, one is about the reflecting the loathsomeness in the body, the loathsomeness in food, the detachment from all the world. Remember, yesterday we were looking at the detachment from all the world with the, we have done it twice in the, one is with the Haliddakani Sutta, and then again we did that one with the Dadatu Punyam Pavadati Gatha, where we are looking at this, getting rid of this, the tendencies, Anusay, tendency to ignorance, and as well as the adherences to volitional formations, and the mental standpoints. So we were getting rid of those things. So that was one meditation. And then again we look at the seen impermanence in all determinations, in all formations. That is, again we did that one with the Auger diagram. That the last meditation we were doing yesterday. There we were looking at, a bhikkhu is sort of troubled, worried because of that sick thing is happening, and then ashamed of doing this bad conduct, like verbal conduct, like lying, harsh speech, and so on. And also the jigucchati, that means that you loathe those perception, like this pleasure, as well as the beauty. Remember that meditation? We were using this meditation yesterday to go rid of those 2. So the distaste for the whole world, as well as the impermanence in all formations. And the next one is the perception of death, which you did on the first day. Having seen a dead body, you put your body next to it, and then you think that your body is of the same nature. You haven't escaped from this one, and then you contemplated arising and the passing away, using the concentration discourse. So when he is doing that one, he abides relying on these 5 powers. That is faith, shame, effort, and wisdom. And the 5 faculties get developed: the faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. But they are blunt, they are not sharp. So therefore he realizes the destruction of taints slowly, with the successive leading. So this is the difficult means and slow realization. So out of these the 5 meditations which you have done, what you haven't done is this loathsomeness in food and the loathsomeness in the body. What we need to do, those 2, those two parts, the loathsomeness in food and the loathsomeness in the body. So how do you do this loathsomeness in food? So here you reflect what will happen to you when you take food inside your body. You see, if you leave food outside for a couple of days, then you can see that the second day maybe you close your nose and put into the bin. But this same thing you put inside, so it is running through the body for 2 days or so. The excrement comes out, and then you know how disgusting it is. In between, you do not know what is happening to that food. But there is one fortunate thing that you can actually use to observe this one. That is this vomit. So you see, you analyze the vomit from your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. So we see it from the eye. You see, so then you can see this bile and all those things mixed together with the rice and so on, acid. And it's not a pleasant things to look at. And so your eye rejects that one. It does not want to see it. And then you examine it from your ear. How do you examine from the ear? The someone having seen this vomit somewhere coming and describing to you that I saw in such and such a place that this vomit, and then while he or she describing this one, the mouth is going in a different direction, and looking at it, your mouth is also going in a different direction. So your ear does not like to hear about that one. So the ear rejects it. It says, I don't want it. And then you examine from your nose. Now in that particular time you get a kick, isn't it? Because of the acid and that one, that is the strongest kick you get from out of those five. I can tell you, when I was in Sri Lanka, I was traveling in a bus. In front of me there was a lady and a woman and a little boy, and to the right side there was another woman. That little boy, put his head just out of the window. He did not vomit yet, but the woman on my right side took her sari and started wrapping the whole face from that sari. And I was looking at what is going on here, and she was looking at that little boy like a person who is making a big crime over here. So what it means is that she can't tolerate the smell of that vomit. So your nose is telling that I don't want to smell it. And then you examine from your tongue. Would you like to use your tongue and sort of taste the vomit? You wouldn't do that. So your tongue is rejecting it as well. And then you examine that one from your body. Would you like to touch vomit from your hand? If it is touched, then you go and wash it very quickly. So those five things, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and body, they all says that they all reject it. When it is rejected by those five, then the mind also reject that one. So all six now says, I don't want it. But where is it? The rejected one is inside your stomach. So along the way, when it is going through your body, then some sort of a juice is going inside your body. Can that juice be a good thing? That juice is like the things you got out of the vomit. So it cannot be a good thing. For that liquid we call blood. So that blood is now going from your hair on the top to the knee level, and is going everywhere. So normally people get this wrong perception about the blood. Some people think it's my pure blood. How can it be pure? Because it's coming out of that juice extracted from the vomit. In one nurse in America was telling me she can tolerate the smell of excrement, but she can't tolerate the smell of blood. We normally don't have this, experience about the blood that much because we close it very quickly, and then so we do not know. But nurse, they know that people come with this injuries and so on, so quite a lot blood, and then smell of that blood. Even here in Australia, when there is an accident, the police pour this Coca-Cola bottle to that one. The Coca-Cola bottle can be used to clean up your toilet as well. It's that powerful chemical inside it. So, I mean, the women know about this, how disgusting this blood is. So, this filthy thing, it is actually circulating inside your body. I can tell you that in Sri Lanka, when I was in the hostel, when I was in the uni, that the boys sometimes kill those mosquitoes and write from the mosquito's body on the wall that you are drinking my pure blood. They did not know what they are actually drinking is something coming out of that vomit type thing, and it is not pure. So then you can see this bad, vomit, the juice extracted from the vomit type thing is going through your whole body. And from that one, you get this hair of the body, nails, teeth. And remember the list that we were looking at yesterday, that whole thing is now made from those things, circulate the blood. So can these things be pure in that case? The juice extracted from the vomit, that is blood. And then that is constructing these things. So now you go through these 32 parts of the body with the perception, not allowing your perception about the vomit go away from your mind. Keep it in your mind that this is made from such a vomit type thing. So with that perception, you go through this head hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, pleura, spleen, lungs, intestine, and mesentery. And then the content of the stomach, excrement, and again bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, tallow, saliva, snot, synovial fluid, urine. You go through those 32 parts with that perception about that vomit thing. So you've got to be a bit practical when you are doing that one. You see, when you're looking at the hair, if your mind is getting hold of that one, because in the morning you comb it, you treat it, touch it, and so on. So in that case, if you think that hair is a good thing, and you are losing your perception about that, what it made from, then you cut down everybody else's hair, let's say in this place, and put in front of front of you on the carpet, and then you can see there are this hair that brown color, and in white hair, and split hair, and also that hair with this dandruff, and then with those little insects and so on. So in that case, you can see that your mind, you won't be attached to that one. Make a big pile, so then you can see what a disgusting thing it is. So what Sampati Mahaprabhu says is that you need to go through the 32 parts, but pick up one most appealing to you, in the sense that you get concentration because of that one. For me, that the bones are giving quite a lot concentration. So when I was going through this part, I come up to the bones. So the skeleton, you have seen skeleton from in the pharmacies also. So when you go there in the shopping, sometimes when you see the skeleton, then take it to your mind strongly. The skeleton is like that one. Watch it for a little while, and when you go home, also you can go into that perception. Then skeleton. I mean, for me, I can actually see your bones as well. One day I had done such a meditation in the morning, and then I went to this Dhamma discussion, conducting a retreat in Panadura, Sri Lanka. There were about 200 people in front of me. So I saw all the skeletons, sitting in front of me, like you are sitting down here, about 200 of them. And then next moment I'm seeing the top parts, the heart. Art is really ugly thing. You have seen in the science exhibitions and so on, and it's ugly thing. And then I see their stomach area. Everybody got this big hole inside, and it's ugly. Some people eat rice and sort of they touch their stomach. This stomach is full and so on. If you actually see the inside of that, the ugliness. Imagine 200 people with that, that bit of food inside it, and then this object in front of you, and then I see there are the bottom sides, everyone with this the excrement and urine, and 200 of those people are there. And at that time, what I was doing is I was actually spreading the compassion towards them. But that day I actually spread the compassion. Let these people get out of this type of disgusting body. They are suffering with this type of body. Let they get out of it. So then you become practical, having done the meditation. Let's say the skeleton is the one that making your mind go into concentration. Then let us say you having done the meditation, you get dressed and then you are going to work, and in front of you some people are coming towards you. So let all of them a skeleton. So now the skeleton is walking towards you. How do we walk? Then this one actually I learned from Buddha. Buddha was telling, there is this discourse called Vijaya Sutta in Kuttaka Nikaya, and Buddha is saying that these human beings, living beings, they have 9 holes in their body. That there are 2 holes here in the eye, the 2 holes for the nose, and the 1 for the mouth, and 2 for ears. That is 7. And then where you pass urine and excrement, 9 holes. And Buddha was saying that it is oozing. The from your nose the snot is coming out, and from the mouth saliva is coming, and the excrement, urine, and so on. And it's leaking, it's oozing. And if someone is sort of disparaging others, you are putting yourself up because of having such a body, because of the body, then it is only stupidity. What else? Because my body is oozing, and then you are saying, I'm saying that my one is better than yours. And then Buddha said, how do we walk? How do we walk? We bend and stretch. We bend and stretch. We think we are actually, going in a nice walk and a nice way, swinging this way and that way. But how do we actually walk? We bend and stretch, bend and stretch. So let all those skeletons in front of you coming towards you, bending and stretching, bending and stretching. You see, the centipedes, when they walk with this 40 feet, and then you look at it, look at this little thing is how it is walking. But when the Brahma is looking at you, they say how these people are walking, the bending and stretching, the bending and stretching. So you let the bending and stretching do for those skeletons, and your mind won't get attached. So that is how you do this meditation, that loathsomeness in food, and not let the perception about the loathsome food go away from your mind. With that perception, that is juice, and from that juice, what you got is hair, body hair, and so on. So you go through the 2 parts, and then you pick up something that will make your mind go into concentration. Some people sort of pick up this excrement for the meditation, and very rare that they do. Maybe 1% of the people. So if you are actually looking at the excrement, you then pick up, the bad excrement that you have seen so far. Just the word excrement won't do any good. You need to be practical. You need to visit, the instance where you have seen such a bad thing. And similarly, urine. Or one can be actually meditate about the urine part. For me, it is sort of a strong thing because when I was in the uni, I was in the second floor, and on the first floor that people, boys, they have urinated nearby the first step over there, not on the first step. And when the sun's rays, it heat that way, or you won't be able to, have to jump off that step and go. It is so wet. As soon as I remember that, I can get rid of these 32 parts at once. That it is so strong. So whatever practical things you have, seen bad before, and use that one for your meditation. The best worst case that you have had. So now you know how to do these two meditations. And yesterday with this meditation, we managed to do other two contemplations. The contemplation about the distaste for the whole world. Remember that, not getting rid of the mental standpoints and using these determinations. And then you got rid of the adherences because this line is not done anymore because they are not mine. And then also tendencies you got rid of. And in the last one of that meditation is that is contemplation impermanence of all formations. So here we got rid of this troubled nature, we got rid of from this restraining, and then the harayati, you are ashamed of having this bad conduct, verbal conduct like lying, but we are not lying because we are saying they are not mine. And then you actually gave up this perception about the beauty and the as well as the pleasure going through this diagram. So those now 4 meditations, and the first meditation you did yesterday, the first day morning, that is this the dead body meditation. So all 5 you have now you can complete. So since you have done the other ones, maybe you examine vomit and then go through that 32 parts of the body, that part, because you have not done that much in these sessions. So when you do that, then you come to this the first jhana meditation. What is this first jhana meditation? Here someone go into the first jhana concentration, which is also mentioned in this document. The aloof from the pleasures of the senses, aloof from unskilled states of the mind, enters and abides in the first meditation, which is accompanied by initial thought and discursive thoughts. So the initial application, sustained application, is born of aloofness and is rapturous and joyful. So what is this initial application and the sustained application? That is this, we are getting rid of this, the thoughts, the sensual thoughts, ill will thought and the harming thought. So you get the thought of renunciation, thought of non-ill will and thought of non-harming. Those are the initial application and sustained application. You keep on applying to that one. So you can see for the thought of renunciation, that is the part that we were doing little while ago. When you look at the 32 parts of the body and then you renounce. Earlier you were holding to your hair and as a beautiful things, and now you are saying it is disgusting, made out of that vomit juice. And so you are getting rid of those things. So the renunciation will occur with that one. So with that one, you go into the first jhana concentration. You get the joy is there. That is the rapture is there, and you get the pleasure and the concentration. So from that one, with the first jhana concentration, then you come to the first foundation of mindfulness. That is the mindfulness regarding the body. So this mindfulness regarding the body you have done. Remember the first day meditation. that we were looking at the form, and then we were saying such is form, such is the arising of form, such is the passing away of form. That we were discussing that one seek delight in form, of what is the arising phenomena. One seek delight in form, one welcomes, one remain holy. By doing that one, delight in form come to arise. That is Nandi. The delight in form is clinging. As clinging as condition, the existence. The existence as condition, the birth come to be. Such is the arising of this whole mass of suffering. So we contemplated the first day, first meditation. And then we look at the passing away phenomena. When one does not seek delight, does not welcome, does not remain holding to. So the delight in form ceases. With the cessation of delight comes the cessation of clinging. With the cessation of clinging comes the cessation of the existence of the very same craving, bhava. So with the cessation of existence comes the cessation of birth. And that is the stopping of this whole mass of suffering. So the arising and passing away phenomena. When you contemplate that, then you come to this first abiding. The first abiding is the first, second, third, fourth jhana concentrations. So now I had a sort of a problem here. The problem here is, you see, when I say the first abiding is actually the jhana. So again the first jhana is there. And then we had the first jhana before that. And here again first jhana. So there must be some sort of a difference over here. The first jhana mentioned here and the first jhana mentioned here. The difference is that this first jhana mentioned on the top here is that it is there in the other dispensations as well. Before Buddha became fully enlightened, the Bodhisattva became fully enlightened, there were people who is teaching how to go to the first, second, third, fourth, and even neither perception nor non-perception level. And they were thinking that those meditations are valuable, and then they can attain Nibbana. And the Alar Kalam, for example, thought that this is the final, nothing else. Bodhisattva knew that it is not so. But this meditation here we are talking about abiding, the first jhana, is sort of towards this noble attainment. In the sense, when you contemplate this, what is in between the two is the first foundation of mindfulness. There, when you are contemplating, you are focusing on that because of the existence of the craving, that is because of the existence, the birth come to be. With the cessation of existence, the cessation of birth. That understanding is there. So, with that understanding, because you understand, you got the concentration. This is a remarkable difference between the two. Most people get confused about this one. Today, people are thinking concentration is the one. Concentration is not the one. What is the valuable thing is how I got the concentration. How I got the concentration because I understood because of the existence, the birth come to be. With the cessation of existence, birth will cease. That understanding. That is the most valuable thing. Because I understood, therefore I got the concentration. That is the concentration we are talking about over here. So that is the valuable concentration. And here you can see his Pali word is Dibba Vihara and abiding. Sometimes when you go to the temple and ask where is the monk, and he says that he's in that particular room, right? So likewise, one Brahmin asked the Buddha, is that because that it is difficult for you to acquire these lofty seats, comfortable seats, that you do not use them? And Buddha said, Brahmin, it is difficult for us to acquire such seats while in this Brahmavihara. Even one gets such a seat, Aryan disciples should not be using them because that it is for the danger of the Aryan disciple. So then Brahmin asked, what sort of seeds that you are using? And then Buddha said, Brahmin, I go into this first jhana, aloof from the pleasures of the senses, aloof from unskilled state of the mind. Then I go into this first jhana concentration with the rapture and the pleasure. And then Brahmin, if I get up from that particular posture, when I stand up, I still have that, the first jhana concentration. When I walk with that concentration. So those are the seeds that Buddha used. You see, you can go into the rapture, you can go into jhana while walking. I mean, I used to do that one when I was working in that lake area. I contemplate the suffering, arising and passing, and then you can go into jhana concentration. So Buddha used 4 seeds. The one seed is this Dibba Vihara, the first abiding. And then the second abiding is that this Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and the equanimity, that is called Brahma Vihara. And then the next abiding Buddha used is that the Arya Vihara, that is the noble abiding, where you attain to your attainments, the stream enterer, once returner, never returner, and the Arahant, the first stage of sainthood, second stage of sainthood, and so on. And the fourth abiding Buddha used was this attainment to the formless sphere attainment, like space is infinite, consciousness is infinite, and the plane of nothing, neither perception nor non-perception level attainments. So those are the abidings Buddha used, and we should be using those abidings as well. So the person who comes to this Dibba Vihara, or the first abiding, Buddha says that he touches the Nibbana. At that particular time, he realizes that, the worm in the cow dung. Sometimes, see that in the morning and the fresh cow dung is there and the worms are, going there, eating it and swimming and going underneath and so on. And it looks like that it is really happy, isn't it? But outside you are saying, what a disgusting thing, this worm in the cow dung, thinking that it is a happy life that it is over there. Who is this worm in the cow dung? It is us. We are the worm in the cow dung. The person outside telling us that you are living like a worm in a cow dung, it was the Buddha, having seen that we were living like a worm in a cow dung. The worm in the cow dung is actually thinking that it is really happy thing for me to eat and swim and all those things. So you touch the Nibbana, and then when you realize that you are like a worm in the cow dung, then you get some sort of effort. Let me get out of this one. When you are sort of living in a poor area, or you are living in a poor way, you feel like, let me get some solution for this one. Let me go to another country or something. Let me earn some money and get out of it. Like that one, you get the effort that I want to get rid of this one, and I want to get out. So that is for you to, that is your effort. So that is the first effort marked over here. Here a monk rouses his will, makes an effort, stirs up energy, exerts his mind, and strives to prevent the arising of unarising, evil, unwholesome mental states. So what are the evil, unarising, evil, unwholesome mental states? Thinking imbued with sensuality, thinking imbued with ill will, thinking imbued with harmfulness. That is the sensual thought, evil thought, and harming thought. You do not have sensual thought, evil thought, and harming thought right now. But when you go to the street, when you see beautiful women, beautiful men and children and so on, then you get this sensual thought. So having understood that one, you are trying to get out of that. What will happen if you are, you saw you are a worm in a cow dung, and you touches the Nibbana, and you understood that there is another world that, is not a world, but it's not like here. So let me get out. Now, if I have a sensual thought, it looks like that I am looking at some sort of part of the cow dung. That green part over there. I have not tasted it before. Let me taste it. Now, here you are saying, no, I don't want that sensual thought. I don't want to go back to the cow dung. So you are apart from the cow dung. So you stay there with this effort. When you do that one, then you see that the worm in the cow dung is born over there, and then it becomes sick, and then it dies over there. It's like in the morning you see that cow dung is there and the worms are there, and then you go to work and come back in, and then because of the sun rays it's dried up all and the worm has died. So the birth, the aging, the sickness, death, all visible within one day for you. So when you are apart from the cow dung, only that you actually see it. Otherwise you won't see it. So what you see is the first noble truth. Birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, all those things are there. Why am I saying that you would not see that while you are inside the cow dung? It is like that, you used to drink tea. So when you are drinking tea, you put about 2 or 3 spoonful of sugar to that one. Small days. People are drinking like that. And then with the maturity, then the doctor will test your blood and say, oh, you have a little bit more blood sugar. So take care of sugar. So when you come with a mind that day, and when you are making a tea, previously you put 3 spoons, now you are putting 1.5. It's bit, you are not happy to do that one. You are putting 1.5 and drinking it. And then again, after 3 months or so, doctor tests the blood and say, still there's a little bit more. So then, okay, I will give up this blood sugar, because you know that you have to cut your leg, amputate, and so many problems will come. You see the danger, peril of this one. So now you are not drinking tea with milk, with sugar at all. So now you used to live like that one. Let us say one day you go to somebody's house and then that person is offering you tea with sugar. What do you say? You say, oh, I can't drink it, because you are not now used to it, drinking such a thing, as well as you understand the danger of this one. What will happen to me? So likewise, with the effort, when you are out of the cow dung only, that you can actually see that we were living like a worm in a cow dung, thinking this life is a happy life, earning money and eating crappy food and so on. We were thinking that it's a good thing. So that is the first noble truth. You saw that it is birth, aging, sickness, death. And then you see the Satchaditthana, determination for truth, which I explained yesterday. Whatever is deceptive is false. The unbinding, the undeceptive is true. So this is what I was telling yesterday. It struck me when I learned this one in Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, the element discourse. I was thinking, what Buddha is telling here? We learn chemistry, physics, mathematics, engineering. Now Buddha is saying all those things are false. What is the true lasting thing? It is the Nibbana. So when you analyze, I gave you a couple of examples yesterday, the chemistry, the problems and so on. And you come to realize, yes, that is true. In other words, in a nutshell, you can see, you understand, whatever way I treat that worm in the cow dung, I give this medicine, that medicine, and so on, but it cannot get cured. The worm in the cow dung dies. Always it dies. So there's no way for me to then, maintain it. There's no mechanism, no method, no chemistry, no physics, no medicine, whatever it is. Now, at this point, you really understand, can the doctor cure you? There are 4 sicknesses that we all have inherited. No doctor can cure. That is the hunger, thirst, passing of urine, and passing of excrement. Those are sicknesses. So there is no way to do this one. So then you understand that we cannot construct the consciousness so that consciousness will last. The best person who constructed consciousness to last long is the person who attained neither perception nor non-perception level. That person lives 84,000 great eons. 84,000 great eons means this earth, it has got these contractions and expansions. So let's say when you talk about one great eon, is that the earth completely destroyed and it is not there for many eons, and then it is forming back again. So the great eon still lasts more than that time. So 84,000 times this is actually occurring, but this person is still living. So now in the human's lifespan, you would be thinking, oh, that is a really big time. But you are living infinitely. When you compare the infinity with the 84,000 great eons, it's just a dot, nothing more. So not to speak about the human lifespan. So the best construction could not achieve the lasting thing. So then you lose your desire for the non-lasting consciousness. Then you get the desire for the lasting nibbana. So that is the concentration due to desire, the Chanda Samadhi. This concentration due to desire has got enemies. I will show you that one in a diagram. So here the concentration due to desire is marked over here. And it has got two enemies. The one above, that is the covetousness. And then over here, there is sadness. The covetousness and sadness are the enemies of the concentration due to desire. Why do I get the covetousness and sadness? If I am not restraining my faculties, indriya samvara, that I will look at someone. So when I look at, then I see this person is beautiful. And the next millisecond, I will sort of picking up, some fold like a pimple. So then I get the sadness. So these are happening because I am not restraining. So then the solution for me would be to restrain. So that is the one mentioned next. The concentration due to desire has got enemies. That is the covetousness and sadness. To get rid of that one, let me restrain my faculties, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and the mind. Now remember yesterday we learned that in the Metta Sutta, the third meditation we did, there we come to the controlling the senses. You see, how we arrive at this one? In the Metta meditation, we start with the virtue. Upright, exceedingly upright, and went to the obedient and become gentle, and from that one we become humble and we came to the controlling the senses. Now Buddha is saying there is another path that we can come. So you see that we have this physical nutriment and then the perversions and the clinging to sensual desire. There are 10 Dhamma paths over here, isn't it? We look at yesterday again and consider them as sicknesses. And then you do have the medicine for that one. Today what you are discussing is the medicine for that one. Say that these 10 form the medicine. For example, when you talk about the physical nutriment, the food is included, then the painful way with slow realization has the loathsomeness regarding the food. So it is the medicine not to have that. So, and then this first jhana concentration is the medicine for the third one. That is the sensual desire, the clinging to sensual desire. It will take out the third one. What is the second one over here? The second one in this one is the perversion, that it is fair while it is ugly. So this medicine over here is the first foundation of mindfulness. So the second one and the third one, it is the other way around. All the other ones are medicine, one for one. So these two, you have to twist the other way around. So now what is the ninth one here? The ninth one is the restraint of faculties. And what is the ninth one in this in this lot. Remember, we were talking about after the barb of lust, we have this the form become the steady point for consciousness. So you see, if I'm controlling my senses, do I look at the form? I don't. So therefore, the form cannot become the steady point for consciousness. Consciousness cannot go and hold it because I'm not looking. I'm not lending my ear, so it can't hold it. So that one is removed. So in other words, when you come up with this one, then you do this meditation again. The metta meditation, last one yesterday, the one before the last one you did yesterday, controlling the senses. You become prudent, and then you become courteous. You are not going to uplift yourself to the level of the king, because you know king is suffering as well as you are suffering. And then not hankering after association with life, with families. And then you have got 8 skill state of the mind, and then you are now qualified to spread the loving kindness, not having this lying, harsh speech, frivolous talks, slander, and not killing, stealing. Therefore you can spread the loving kindness. Then you started spreading the loving kindness to all the living beings, and then you saw the sample that these little ones, worms, they die, mosquitoes, they die, and so on. The elephants and so on, they all die. So then your conceit, you get rid of the impermanency. You do not say that it is permanent while it is dying. And so the permanency is removed. So then you can remove the anger. And when you remove the anger, you see that you have the ill will, subtle ill will inside. So you are not harming, you are not thinking anyone have the harm, because you have the ill will. So the ill will is gone. So you have got the 9th, the skill state of the mind. And then you are spreading the loving kindness like the mother, with the purified bodily, verbal and mental actions. You are spreading the loving kindness to entire world. And you are making you have this noble living, and you are a person that with the purified verbal, bodily and mental actions, that you are spreading the loving kindness for the entire world. You have the mindfulness, such mindfulness, and you are going to make your virtue thorough. Dittincha anupagamma sīlava, not falling into wrong views, being virtuous. So out of the 10 skill states, we got 9 already. 1 is missing. That is to get rid of the covetousness. Why am I getting covetousness? Because the lust in the senses. So lust in the senses discarded, then you are saying you are not going to go into the mother's womb, to a canal of urine and excrement. By doing that one, you are going to this Michelin state of loving kindness. Why Michelin state now? You see, this part is there. You understood the first noble truth, the suffering, the birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation, all those things are there for the worm, the human beings, the elephants, snakes, and so on. Everyone, living beings, they are suffering. And then you understood that the worm in cow dung cannot be cured. It dies. So you got the determination for truth. Only the lasting thing is Nibbana, and then you get the desire to attain Nibbana. And your restrained faculties will come to the Michelin state of loving kindness. You see, when you are spreading the loving kindness, you normally have that you are spreading the loving kindness to directions, the animals and so on. And then you see, you normally get a sample like the snakes, elephants, and so on. Now, when you are spreading the loving kindness to a great extent, that word, these elephants, ants, you are normally distinguishing them, isn't it? Because when you look at the ant, you don't look that much. You look the other way around. But when you are looking at an elephant, you say this is big and how it is moving and so on. So your eye is catching and looking at him. But what if you understand the elephant is suffering as well as the ant is suffering? Now you replace the words of this ant, the elephant, the human beings from the word suffering. So then you lose the perception that the one that you are giving value to the elephants and so on, because they are big and so on, that will vanish. So what is remaining? The suffering. The same phenomena is applied to the ant as well as the human being as well as the God and everybody. They all are suffering. So therefore you go for measureless states. If your mind is holding to the elephant or something, deva or something, that means you can't go to the immeasurable state. You are measuring, you are holding. So since you understand the suffering, you can spread the loving kindness, and you can arrive at the measureless state. So that is the meditation. How do we do that? We do this 5 meditations here. You really don't have to do all 5, but at least since you have not done the vomit, analyzing the vomit part, and then the 32 parts of the body, you can go through that one. You see from your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. You analyze the vomit, and then see how disgusting it is, and that disgusting thing is inside your body. And then the juice comes out of that one, that is blood. From that blood you put the hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, and so on. So you go through that one, and then you pick up something that makes your mind go into concentration. Each one of these meditations has got its own value. Although you don't have to do all 5, but doing those things makes quite a lot good for you. For example, if you contemplate about the loathsomeness in food, then your idea about this taste will go away. I have done this meditation, and I have eaten after that one. You can't eat, because you analyze the vomit and sort of thing, and then when you try to eat, how Buddha is asking you to eat. Buddha is asking for the monks to mix up everything. Your curries, you got all those things, mix up. So you mix up some bowl of rice over here, and then you go and switch off the light switch and then come back in. Would you feel like eating the bowl that you made? You don't feel. You feel like throwing it away. Because it is a stinky thing, isn't it? Because we are eating this. Even the rice, after eating, you just smell it. It's disgusting. But we are actually putting it inside. So you can just eat just to maintain the body. That's all. You can't eat for the fun and sort of thing. Your greediness will be gone. When you contemplate about the 32 parts of the body, that foulness meditation, then the sensual desire subsides. And then the distaste for the whole world. And then you don't want to, you don't have the taste for the world. And then when you contemplate about the impermanence in all formations, then you see all the formations are impermanent. Whatever thing I construct, they are not lasting in that sense. And when you contemplate about the death, and you are actually going to this pleasantness, that is this the Nibbana. Nibbana becomes the focus of that one. Because it says this Amrutya. Amrutya is that, it is the God's drink sort of thing that they say, but it is that Nibbana. It is because that, when you meditate this on 32 parts of the body, you get this idea about the foulness. But although you do that one, and in the morning you get dressed and going to work, and you see someone, all of a sudden in your mind you get, oh, this person is so beautiful. Why is it? Is that your meditation is not working for you? It is not that. Partly to blame that it is not working into a greater sense. The permanency is creating this particular problem. Permanency is only stamping the beauty. So it is confirming what you used to have, that idea about the beauty is now confirmed by this permanency. So when you contemplate about the death, you don't see the permanency. If someone is dying, where is the permanency? So therefore it is coming out and let you take out of that beauty. The beauty is not confirmed because when you contemplated about the death. So each meditation has got its own credit, its own value. So in this one, probably you can take your best meditation, since you have not done the meditation about the vomit and the 32 parts. I would suggest you go in that direction. So then you get the first jhana concentration, and from the first jhana concentration you have the rapture, and then you come to the first foundation of mindfulness. Don't forget this part. The first meditation you did on the first day, that cannot be eliminated. It is there throughout the course. The arising and passing phenomena. How did we do that one? We took a dead body and then we look at the arising and passing. So we are saying that the one seek delight in form, welcomes it, remain whole into it. By doing that one, the delight in form come to arise. The delight in form is clinging. As clinging as condition, the existence. The existence as condition, the birth come to be. Such is the arising of this whole mass of suffering. And then you contemplate about passing away phenomena. One does not seek delight, one does not welcome, does not remain whole into. So then the delight in form ceases. With the cessation of delight comes the cessation of clinging. With the cessation of clinging comes the cessation of existence. With the cessation of existence comes the cessation of birth. It's very important. Unless you have this arising and passing, you won't reach this Dibba Vihara, the first abiding. The first abiding, because you contemplated and then you understood, yes, it is true. Because of the existence of the craving, that I get the birth. Or because of the craving, I got this whole mass of suffering. So you get understanding. Because of that understanding, then you touches the Nibbana, and then you see yourself as a worm in the cow dung. And thinking that it's a pleasurable thing, we have been eating and swimming and all those things with the inside the cow dung. So now you get the effort. Let me get out of this mess. So that is the first effort. So here the monk rouses his will, makes an effort, steers up energy, exerts his mind, and strives to prevent the arising of unarisen, evil, unwholesome mental states. So you are saying, I don't want sensual thought, ill will thought, harming thought. If I have the sensual thought, I will be back in cow dung. So let me not have it. So while you are there, away from the cow dung, then you see the worm in the cow dung has got the birth, aging, the sickness and death inside it. So that is the first noble truth. Birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation and so on. Now you see the determination for truth. You can see that whatever medicine, whatever method you learn, chemistry, physics, mathematics, engineering, medicine, whatever way you treat yourself, worm in the cow dung dies. You cannot make it, make it live. So whatever is deceptive is false, unbinding. The undeceptive is true. That is the Nibbana. Nibbana is the only lasting thing. So then you get the desire to attain the Nibbana that is lasting. And you lose the desire for non-lasting consciousness. So consciousness does not last. So therefore you don't have desire for that. What is lasting is Nibbana. So that one has got concentration due to desire, has got two enemies. That is this covetousness, abhijja, and the sadness, domanassa in Pali. So if you are restraining your faculties, you do not get this covetousness and then this sadness. So now you are back in the metta meditation. So number 6. So now you go through that metta meditation, controlling the senses, prudent, courteous, and then you are saying, I'm not going to go into canal of urine and excrement, having known the suffering. So therefore, since you know it is suffering, now you are not discriminating that this the elephant versus the ant versus human being. The word is now, you are losing the word about the man, the elephant, the ant, and so on. It is being replaced by the word suffering. So the suffering is gone. Your perceptions about these little creatures are gone, and what you get is the suffering. So now you have the measureless list of loving kindness. You see, what is loving kindness? The loving kindness is, you are saying, let these living beings be free from suffering. And having seen the suffering, you are saying, let they free from suffering. So it is there. Unless you see the suffering, you won't go into this measureless state. So that's the meditation. So let us take 10 minutes or so for you to take into your mind, and then we will do the meditation.